Donald John Trump, born in Queens, New York in 1946, seemed destined for a life of wealth and privilege. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer. Donald followed in his father's footsteps, graduating from the Wharton School of Finance and joining the family business. He quickly made his mark, transforming the company with his ambitious projects and shrewd business acumen. Trump's name became synonymous with luxury high-rises, casinos, and golf courses. He plastered his name on everything from buildings to airplanes to steaks. He wasn't just a businessman, he was a brand. His flamboyant personality and penchant for self-promotion made him a media darling. Trump's foray into television further amplified his fame. His reality show, The Apprentice, turned him into a household name. Millions tuned in each week to watch him judge aspiring entrepreneurs with his signature phrase, "You're fired." Trump had successfully cultivated an image of himself as the epitome of American success, bold, brash, and always willing to make a deal. This carefully constructed persona resonated with a segment of the American public. They saw in Trump a straight-talking outsider, unburdened by political correctness and beholden to no one. They admired his business acumen and his unapologetic pursuit of wealth and success. Little did they know that this brash businessman had his sights set on a much bigger prize, the presidency of the United States. Trump's entry into politics shocked the establishment. His 2016 presidential campaign was unconventional, to say the least. He eschewed traditional political rhetoric, opting instead for fiery rallies and provocative statements. He tapped into a vein of anger and frustration among voters who felt ignored by the political elite. His campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again," resonated with those who felt left behind by globalization and social change. They saw in Trump a savior, someone who would shake up the system and put their interests first. To the astonishment of pollsters and pundits, Trump won the 2016 election, defeating Hillary Clinton. He became the 45th president of the United States. Trump's presidency was as tumultuous as his campaign. He governed with the same impulsiveness and unpredictability that he had displayed in the business world. He withdrew the United States from the Paris Climate Agreement, imposed tariffs on Chinese goods, and moved the U.S. Embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. His presidency was marked by constant chaos and controversy. He clashed with world leaders, fired cabinet members on a whim, and engaged in bitter feuds with political opponents and the media. His supporters, however, remained loyal. They lauded his willingness to challenge the status quo and his commitment to putting America first. Trump's presidency was plagued by scandal and controversy from the outset. He faced accusations of obstruction of justice stemming from the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. He was impeached by the House of Representatives twice, first for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, and then for inciting an insurrection. The second impeachment followed a harrowing day in American history, January 6, 2021. A mob of Trump supporters, fueled by his false claims of election fraud, stormed the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to prevent the certification of Joe Biden's victory. The images of the Capitol under siege, symbols of American democracy defaced and desecrated, shocked the nation and the world. Although Trump was acquitted by the Senate in both impeachment trials, the events of his presidency left an indelible stain on his legacy. His critics argued that he had eroded public trust in democratic institutions and stoked the flames of division and extremism. His supporters, however, remained steadfast in their belief that he was a victim of a witch hunt orchestrated by the deep state and the liberal media. Section 4. The Second Coming, Trump's Return to Power in 2024. Despite the turmoil of his presidency and the shadow of January 6th, Trump never conceded defeat in the 2020 election. He repeatedly made baseless claims of widespread voter fraud, fueling distrust in the electoral process among his supporters. He remained a potent force in American politics, holding rallies and endorsing candidates who echoed his grievances. In a stunning turn of events, Trump announced his candidacy for president in 2024. His campaign was marked by the same themes of grievance and resentment that had propelled him to victory in 2016. He promised to restore law and order, finish the wall, and make America great again, again. The 2024 election was one of the most contentious in American history. Trump faced a formidable opponent in Kamala Harris, who had served as vice president under Joe Biden. The campaign was marred by personal attacks, misinformation, and 2 assassination attempts on Trump's life. In the end, Trump emerged victorious, winning both the Electoral College and the popular vote. He returned to the White House for a second term, this time with J.D. Vance as his vice president. Section 5. A Nation Divided, Trump's Second Term, Policies and Controversies. Trump's second term has been marked by a series of bold and often divisive policy decisions. He has doubled down on his hardline immigration policies, declaring a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border and vowing to complete the border wall. He has also implemented a series of controversial social policies, including a 2-gender policy and reinstating military members who refused the COVID-19 vaccination with back pay. One of his most significant actions has been the creation of the Department of Government Efficiency, aimed at reducing bureaucracy and streamlining government operations. However, critics argue that this department has been used to target political opponents and silence dissent. Trump has also made headlines with symbolic gestures like renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America and reverting Denali's name back to Mount McKinley. These actions, while largely symbolic, have further inflamed tensions between his supporters and detractors. Throughout his second term, Trump has continued to use his signature combative style, frequently clashing with the media, political opponents, and even members of his own party. His presidency remains a lightning rod for controversy, with every decision and utterance scrutinized and debated by a deeply divided nation.